So aggravating, I swear. Okay, it's first time we can second, third time we can do this on Facebook. This is like, oh god, here we go.
You're not gonna vape in the house?
I wouldn't know.
It should be over there. That ain't it. That's my cigarette.
Unless it's inside of here, then no. Hey, gods and kings join. I'm waiting on the king to come back. Today's topic, knock, 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 will be on the truth behind the 4th of July and the declarations of independence / Revolutionary War is what today's topic will be. Are we back in? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you like to sound off first?
What's good? What's good, fams? What's good? What's good? Gods in the house?
Yeah.
Gods and kings in the house. That's
yes.
good.
Yes,
Peace,
yes,
love.
Yes.
So,
deep breath.
I had to sit here and think about a few things.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Hey, what's good? What's good, fams? What's good? What's good? I had to think about a few things. I brought to the Queen's attention. I was like, you know, we need to ask questions of how many people out there actually know about the 4th of July and what was actually going on. You know what I mean? A lot of us, the history is not passed on word of mouth. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like it's something that we would all like to know. You know what I mean? Yo, you got something?
Of course. The one thing that I find to be quite hilarious with a lot of black people is the concept of celebrating holidays that are technically not meant for black people.
Mm-hmm.
So, in a sense, you've pretty much become indoctrinated. Indoctrinated. Great. Okay, sorry, excuse my French. Indoctrinated on a holiday. You've been indoctrinated on religions that are technically meant for the Caucasian people. So when it pertains to the 4th of July in itself directly and the history of where the 4th of July stems from, black people should not, and I say this emphatically, should not at all celebrate the 4th of July. The only time I think a person should even have a celebration on the day of the 4th of July is if it is your birthday. The reason why I say that a person should not celebrate the 4th of July is because of the status of your people during the time of the Revolutionary War and also the signing of the Declaration of Independence.
So with that being said, it was actually done in 1776. So if the Revolutionary War took place in 1776, and with that being said, there was people still enslaved. So it's like 5,000 people that was enslaved. I mean, 5,000 people that joined the army. And if it was 5,000 people that joined the army, so-called purportedly, that's what they say.
Right.
Who were not fighting in the army. They were actually laundress, cooks, nurses, doctors, and we're talking about males and females, you know, involved with feeding the ammunition to the cavalries and stuff like that as well. So with that being said, there was a lot of black people that passed away in that war. That when they came, when their bodies came back, they were still not being respected as soldiers like the way how white men were.
Right.
Yes, they did fight for America. Yes, a lot of those ancestors I give nothing but the utmost props to. but what we're seeing is consistency within the regime of America and how they don't show love to the people that go out there and risk their lives for them, because mainly it's actually people of melanated descent that's
Right.
going out there risking their lives for them.
Right.
And what do they have to show for it when they come back home? A medal, no benefits, little to no benefits
Yeah.
at that. You know what I'm saying? A few cliches here and there. A souped up Camaro, a Charger, that's or a Mustang, a
Right.
Corvette.
I mean, that's nowadays. What
That's
people
just the
get.
way how we know. But that goes to show you, it's just little. So just if we're getting little to no incentive
Yeah.
right now, just imagine what the ancestors was getting. They were getting shitted on
Yeah.
left and right.
I mean, if we're gonna divulge into it, I mean, let's really truly divulge into it. So,
Okay.
in the concept of the 4th of July, the Revolutionary War, as well as the Declaration of Independence, during that time frame, our ancestors were still slaves.
True.
Okay,
True.
I would say amongst those that were slaves, only a handful were actually free in the North. And when I say the North, I mean the northern colonies of the U.S. of the A's. Okay. Now, with that being said, during the time of the Revolutionary War and during the Revolutionary War, it was about 5,000 free black people fighting in that war.
Not slaves.
Not slaves.
Free black people.
Free. Okay. Now, to show you how, who was the president at the time? Washington?
Something like that. Don't get me wrong.
Okay. I don't want to misquote my facts, so I'm going to say the president at the time of the Revolutionary War, bang it there, he was so racist, himself owned, I think if I'm not mistaken, hundreds of slaves
Mm-hmm.
himself. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
George Washington.
George Washington. Okay. At this time, he was so emphatic on no black people fighting during the Revolutionary War, regardless if you are free or not. You could not enlist into the war if you are a black person, regardless if you were free and or a slave. The time span of black people starting to be able to fight during the war came in part when the British put out a news ad stating they would grant freedom to those who were willing to fight for the British side during the Revolutionary War. Now, that was if you were a slave and or if you were free and you were wanting to escape the U.S. of A. Okay? The British put out an ad stating you can fight for our side. However, if you fought on the British side, it was very rare that they were going to give you a gun to allow you to be out on the front lines. Why? Because technically, in their eyes, you were still a slave.
True.
Okay? Now, on the U.S. side, the president put out, we will pay the southern colonies $1,000 a head for slaves to fight during the war.
Mm.
And the southern colonies still resisted, even with the urge of money put out on the table. I forget which year it was during the Revolutionary War. If I'm not, I forget the year. I know I wrote it down
What you talking
somewhere.
about?
The year that Washington put it out that slaves could enlist and or free black people could enlist into the war. I forget the year specifically. I think it might be 1777. If I don't quote me on the year. But let me say actually more wasn't slaves, but I still get your overall point. Don't understand that comment.
No, what he was saying is basically, all in a nutshell, you said it was a handful of slaves that was up north, but it was actually more slaves than that.
No,
I mean,
I'm saying
more black people were not slaves up north and in those areas.
yeah. I'm talking when I say the 5,000, I'm talking about the 5,000 people. Those were the people from the north that were allowed to fight in the war.
Yeah, but you have worded it wrong
Oh,
earlier.
okay.
So I understand what he's saying. I'm just giving you clarity.
Okay, no
Go
problem.
ahead.
Cool, no problem. Okay, so now with all of what I'm saying. During the Revolutionary War, our people, as we know, were still slaves. So, like I was stating, the southern colonies were headstrong on not releasing any slaves to fight in this war. Why? They were afraid that their slaves, one, would come back and shoot them, two, they would run away, and then three, they would lose their property.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That we're just going to be all out Frank White with it, as my king likes to say, Frank White with it. Okay?
All right.
Now, the thing that I find extremely funny when it pertains to the 4th of July and the Declaration of Independence and the Revolutionary War, you have a lot of white people who are just so gung-ho on the phrasing of the Declaration of Independence and pledging their loyalty to this piece of paper, parchment, as I like to say, that
An alliance.
in fact does not grant any type of freedom for black people.
Hold up. But you ain't even catch what you just said, though.
What?
Free, dumb. Split it in half. If you think you free, you actually dumb. Philando Castile, Trayvon Martin, Sandra Bland. What else? What else you got? What else you got? Mike Brown.
Yeah, Mike Brown.
I mean, what
Eric
else you got?
Garner, Eric Gray.
Sean Bell.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Do we have to go on? If you think you free, we dumb. You feel what I'm saying? You got to be dumb, because even though the ancestors fought in the war so we can have a place out here, they still shitting on us and they still purging. Hey, I'm just saying some real shit. I don't care if somebody get pissed off or mad. I'm just being real. I ain't knocking a Twinkie out your damn hand or nothing like that. If you want to go celebrate the shit, I'm just trying to be real with you.
Right.
The real original Black Independence Day is actually on Juneteenth.
Yeah.
Juneteenth. That's between the 15th of June, the 17th of June. It ends on the 17th. That's just putting something out there. Go ahead.
Okay. So, with all of that, now, yes, there were some black people that fought in the Revolutionary War who were very influential.
Yep.
Okay. Now, this is not to discredit them at all, because they were fighting for something that they thought in themselves would pertain to them. They did not know that they would get shysted on this deal. Okay? Not at all. Like I said before, the British were putting out their ads stating that if you came to their side and fought, you would be able to have your freedom granted to you. Now, after the war, the numbers that's been put out there with the research that I've been doing, they say it's about 100,000 black people, ranging from whether you're free or a slave, were able to either escape, either were killed during the war, and or died. They specify killed and died specifically because to die, that's just how it was specified.
I'm not going to question the Caucasian mentality.
Now, with the numbers of people that were escapees, I guess you could say, or living their life and getting away from the Americas, they escaped to Nova Scotia, the West Indies, Canada, and I think it was London, they said, if I'm not mistaken.
London.
I think it was London. It's somewhere in my notes over here. Okay. Now, what I find to be hilariously funny is that when I was doing this research, London.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I find to be extremely hilarious within doing this research is the fact that they stated within the southern colonies, they stated that it was approximately 450,000 black slaves. Now,
that math got to be off like a motherfucker.
You can't tell me.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna just specify the southern. These are the colonies that are considered a part of the southern colonies. It would be Georgia, Virginia, South Carolina, and Alabama. Those would be a part of the southern colonies specifically, but more specifically, when you're looking in the notes, they specify Georgia, Virginia, South Carolina, and North Carolina. Okay, now they stated that those colonies were 75% white people. Now, I'll tag you and go ahead.
I'm trying to figure out How can any one of those states be, all those states combined, be 75% white if we all know? If anybody do any type of reading, historian shit, you would know automatically. Mississippi had the largest numbers of slaves during the white gold industry. When cotton was being formed. And people was actually harvesting cottons and stuff like that, the cotton gin and all of that good shit. You feel what I'm saying, yo? So it doesn't make any sense because if you look at Mississippi was the only state that had the most slaves. The most slaves in the United States. There's no other state that had more slaves than Mississippi. It was 55% to every Caucasoid. The Tom Who's. And that's just being real on some real G shit. I think it was 12% of them owned slaves, and the next 9% of the white people did not own slaves, and they grew their own agricultural shit, and that's just in Mississippi.
Yeah.
But that's just a thesis that I'm just getting, not a thesis, a synopsis that I'm giving on that part right there. Go ahead, though.
Okay. So, I find that to be a quite hypocrisy when it pertains to the facts. Like I said, with the numbers and the facts, we all know that when it pertains to Caucasians / white people, whatever you want to call them, they like to over-exaggerate
numbers
as well as underestimate the actual numbers. Okay? Now, what I found to be quite interesting is the main part of the Declaration of Independence that white people love to quote, especially on the 4th of July. They love this one. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. But we were slaves. Okay.
Hold up.
We were slaves.
At that particular point in time.
We were slaves.
But all men are created equally.
All men created equal.
All right now.
That they are endowed by their creator.
Yeah, we were.
With certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, this is the key part of the speech that white people love to quote. And when I say they love to quote, I've seen some person had it tattooed on their arm. You can't sit here and tell me that this part of the speech was pertaining to black people when we were considered your property at the time that this speech was wrote. And then you wrote it into history, into law, that we were only 3/5 black. No, not 3/5 black, 3/5 human. Sorry, excuse me.
Yep. 3/5 is a human
so
being.
That in itself, you're not even specifying us as a human being. We are, as many would like to say, we are property, cattle, and or equipment is what black people were considered as.
And never changed the bill not one goddamn time, neither, even afterwards. So the bills still haven't been changed. And you wonder why they shooting down young kids. They shooting down the elders and stuff like that. Because they still consider us as 3.5. You know what I'm saying? So basically, all in a nutshell, what they're saying is, a cat is 100% cat. A dog is 100% dog. An animal is 100% animal. A white person is 100% human. But us, being melanated people, African descent, we're not considered as humans.
Nope.
And you wonder why they keep shooting down young black men, children, women, mothers, grandmothers, grandfathers. Is because they already wrote us out. And the only way that shit gonna change is if you see people get up, sign a petition, take that shit to Washington, D.C., knock on the damn doorsteps, and get your fucking rights back. The Mexicans did it. They did that shit in 1998. It wasn't too long ago. The Asians did it not too long ago. You feel what I'm saying, yo? So why the fuck we can't do it? Every other nation that has been oppressed by the white man has actually went out there and got their rights back. We are the only nation that is still sitting here, still to this point, waiting on our rights. And they wondering, stop watching fucking Power, Empire, American, Atlanta's Housewives, Love and Hip Hop. Stop trying to be these motherfuckers out here on these motherfucking streets. At the end of the day, they fucking decoys. They don't give two five fucks about you. They're getting paid to mislead you. You feel what I'm saying? So if you're going to sit there and stand in front of a damn sneaker store for a pair of fucking Jordans, if you don't vote, at least get your goddamn rights back.
Yeah.
As a fucking African American. So you can be able to walk the streets safe. No, it ain't going to be easy. But everything got to come with a fucking fight. In order to be successful, you got to go through, you got to sacrifice. Right. Okay? We got to sacrifice. And it ain't going out there busting no guns at nobody. No. We're doing like Khalid Muhammad said. You shoot from the lip, not from the hip. Knowledge. They not afraid of you when you got a pistol in your hand. They afraid of a black man or a black woman with this. Because the moment you got this, they know it ain't no way they can control you. But go ahead. What that fam said right there? It says,
laugh out loud. Technically, you were correct. 3 feels black because black man is the original man. Superior.
Appreciate you, Chris. Yeah. Chris the God. You appreciate you, King.
Correct.
Appreciate you.
I like to quote it as this. Black people are celebrating. If it's not your birthday, let me specify this. If it's not the day that you were born on the 4th of July, you are technically celebrating the day that your white master was set free from the British Empire.
All right now.
You were celebrating your master's freedom, but yet and still your ancestors were still slaves working on their cotton fields, the cane fields, the timber fields. This is basically what you're celebrating. Now, I don't know if that shit don't hit home to you, but that shit hit home to me. Because I'm thinking to myself, like, why the fuck would I celebrate another man's freedom in a country that my ancestors were originally here?
And I'm trying to figure out this shit real fast. And I'm just looking at this shit right now. And somebody said this right here. They said the United States declared its independence in 1776. Yet Washington did not take office until April the 30th, 1789. See how they fucking lie?
Yeah.
So is it 5,000 or 500,000 black people that went out there? Because sometimes you gotta.
Yeah.
They play technology. They play technology.
Yeah.
I don't like the way how they run, man. They play games on that shit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Go ahead.
Okay, but even in that, that's why I said they underestimate the numbers, so you can't really truly gauge based off of what's put into history, because like we know all the time, history is falsified pertaining to the white person to glorify them and make them look better. But even still, when it pertains to the black people that were even enlisted into the war, most of them were cooks, they were barrack cleaners, they were the people that dug out the trenches. They like to say that they used black people as spies. That's a lie. They did not. Don't believe that lie. No. No such thing as a white man during that time using a black man to go run over and look at someone else's side. They're not doing that.
So this is around when John Hanson was president of the United States.
I would say.
Because at the end of the day, they was basically saying all in a nutshell that, let me get this real fast. I'm sorry. This document was actually posted on June the 11th, 1776, but not agreed upon by Congress until November the 15th, 1777. Mm-hmm. Maryland refused to sign the document until Virginia and New York ceded their western islands. Hold up. Maryland was afraid that these states would gain too much power in the new government from such a large amount of land. Hold up. Once the signing took place in 1781, a president was needed to run the country. John Hanson was chosen unanimously by Congress, which included George Washington.
But they couldn't have a black man as the face when they were asking for freedom from Britain, when they still had black people as slaves.
No. No.
No, I get what you're saying.
Okay, all right.
I get what you're saying.
Okay, all
But
right.
the reason why you hear George Washington name brought up, why? Is because they put George Washington out there on the forefront to be the spokesperson,
The catalyst
for them during
Yep.
the Revolutionary War. Why? Because they can't have no black man out there as their spokesperson. Why? Because they still had black people as slaves, as well as Britain. I mean, let's just be real with it. Because when you're looking at the Revolutionary War and the breakdown of it, they had black people on both sides, being cooks and servants, pretty much do boys on both sides. That's why I said that. There's no such thing. Even on the British side, when it pertained to black people pulling up in arms, it was very rare that you saw on the British side of the war a black man up in arms. Why? Because they did not trust black people regardless. Yes, there were some black people that were influential during the Revolutionary War. I am not taking any of that away from them. However, if we're going to be all the way 100 when it pertains to white people stating that all of us should be in glory of the 4th of July and say all of us should look at the Declaration of Independence as something for all of us, no, I cannot look at that and say that that is all for us. Why? Because black people, I'm going to keep saying it, this whole black people were still slaves. So you can't tell me I'm supposed to look at something and say this was meant for me, but yet my ancestors were slaves here on these lands when the lands were originally theirs. You just can't.
And then not to mention, if we're going to be real with the shit, the ancestors did not die over that goddamn flag or this motherfucking land.
It wasn't meant.
The ancestors died so we could have our fucking freedom and have our place in society the way how we have our shit right now. But what they was expecting was way more leeway, where we not getting shot down in the streets and having dogs sicked on us and shit like that in the whole nine. Hey, lynchings is still going on.
Yeah.
Just because it's not a rope around your neck doesn't mean that you ain't getting lynched.
Right.
We still seeing people get shot down in the streets, strangled,
Yeah.
organs missing, just bodies just sitting there. So the ancestors did not die over that flag or this land. They died over us.
They thought
so we could have a place in society. So with that being said, the next thing I want to ask a question about is, so if we're supposed to be all singing Kumbaya, why is it that where the white people at during the year when it's no 4th of July? Why is it that the white people, I don't see white people sitting here trying to be patriotic and be all for one for all on some Three Musketeers shit?
Oh, no. They are all for one and one for all.
For them.
Throughout the year.
For them. Not for us.
It's like you said. It's for them.
Oh. No, but that's what I'm saying. Though.
Oh, and then you got your, you got your, I have black friends.
But did you fuck a black person before?
You got those people. I have black friends.
Do you have a black child? I have black child, so you know how a black woman feels. Because if it ain't safe for none of these other cats out there, and it ain't safe for mine, it damn sure ain't gonna be fucking safe for yours. You feel what I'm saying? So I can give two flying fucks. I don't need nobody to have no fucking empathy or empathize with no fucking with our nation. Okay? At the end of the fucking damn day, I don't need fucking pity. You feel what I'm saying, yo? Shut the fuck up, stay in your goddamn grounds, back the fuck up, because when it has something when Donald Trump doing what the fuck he doing, white people, I don't give a fuck. When he was talking about, oh yeah, he grabbing women pussy, I said, hold up.
He ain't grabbing no black pussy.
Was it black women pussy? No? Then I ain't got nothing to say. Shit. Handle your business. Shit.
Field day.
Dude, that shit, I'm only for my race and my race only when it comes to standing up and fighting for the liberation. Fuck all that shit, and I don't give a damn who feels some type of way about that shit. Go ahead, though.
I said, Chris the God said, crazy how we're fighting for equality when we're really superior. Exactly. There's no such thing as, I understand the concept of one should be equal with all. I get it. However, once one engulfs their self in knowledge of their true self, there's no such thing as me being equal to a white person when, in fact, I am over a white person. Superiority when it pertains to DNA, when it pertains to knowledge, when it pertains to my ancestral background, when it pertains to shit that my ancestors did on these lands before there was a so-called white person. Our DNA/race, ancestors, elders, whatever you want to call it, we're far more superior. The intellect in itself shows that we are far more superior. Okay? Now, what I find to be quite hilarious, not necessarily hilarious, white people asked Frederick Douglass to give a speech for the 4th of July. And this black man emphatically did it on July 5th. And it's one of his most famous speeches. The meaning of July 4th for the Negro.
Verse first too.
Okay. And I'm going to take an excerpt out of what he put in. It says, this is a question that he asked the white people. Now, wait, let me go. Now, when you read this very, very long speech and or listen to this very, very long speech, it is a great speech. It is a very moving speech. And during the beginning of the speech, he does give what one would say appreciation to the founding fathers of the Americas. Granted, I can understand that concept, because technically, you know, due to them winning their freedom from the, shall we say, the British, it did allow them to have some type of leeway in structure. It did eventually lead to a better, shall we say, land and or place of being for black people eventually. Okay? So I understand the concept of him saying thank you, because had we still been up under British rule, we quite possibly may not be where we are today. Okay? Now, with all of that, he asked this right here. Are the great principles of political freedom and natural justice embodied in that Declaration of Independence extended to us blacks? And that is a great question to ask, especially to one who is extremely patriotic, one who says you should glorify this piece of parchment and put up arms and shoot your firecrackers and shout hooray on the 4th of July. Now, in response to asking this question, Frederick Douglass says, the 4th of July is yours, not mine. And I completely and utterly agree. The 4th of July is never and not ever will be meant for the black person. Ever. That day is not specifically meant for you. Nor is the holiday. Hell, nor is any other European holiday that's put out here is it meant for black people. But yet and still, we have coons. We have those that say, hey, just roll with the fun. And then we have those that say, hey, why are you spoiling the day? Eat a cake, eat a watermelon, and have a good time. I'm sorry. Like I've stated before, and I'm going to keep saying this, unless someone's birthday is on that actual day, that is the only time I will have some type of celebration of life, if it is someone else's birthday. But the 4th of July, no, you're not going to catch me in a US of A flag, seeing as how that US of A flag was never meant for black people at all. Seeing as how the Pledge of Allegiance is a spell, and on top of that, not pertaining to black people. But yet, we have black people pledging themselves to the fucking Declaration of Independence and or 4th of July and any other white person's holiday.
All right now.
Okay? This is ridiculous.
And we can hear them coons right now popping off them goddamn
It's
fireworks.
like so freaking
And we damn
annoying.
near the hood. We damn near the hood.
Like,
those ain't white people that we got that we got in them areas popping off them
It's
damn
black
fireworks.
folks.
These are black folks.
what's your take, man, on Frederick Douglass? While
I
pull up
mean,
this video.
the crazy thing about it is Frederick Douglass said some real shit that needed to be heard
Mhm.
because he surprised the Tom who? The Caucasian.
Mm-hmm.
The Caucasian wasn't expecting him for him to give that particular speech.
No.
Because he started out saying thankful, graceful, we did it, nigga, we made it type shit.
Right. Atlanta.
We in Atlanta right now, fams. And then all of a sudden, out the clear blue sky, Frederick Douglass he dropped the bomb on their asses like, yo, fuck you mean? Yo, it's you rejoicing right now. I'm mourning.
Right.
The amount of, when it comes to the people that passed away. The fuck you mean? All the blood that was shed on this land. You talking about fighting for independence, but you haven't granted independence to the people that you enslaved.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about freedom and equality when you still raping, you still pillaging on your own lands. It's like the pot calling the tea kettle black. How can you sit there and say, oh yeah, you fighting for your independence, but yet you still got black people enslaved, and you haven't even gave the black people here their fucking damn independence at all. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So how the fuck can you sit here and say, land of the free, home of the brave? Nah. Yeah, the brave is us.
Yeah.
We were the ones laying down our lives, sacrificing ourselves. What the fuck did they do? They paid money. They bombarded us wherever they felt as if they can bombard us. You feel what I'm saying, yo? And that's just being real. Ali in the house, yo. What up, Drew? What up, Drew? You feel what I'm saying, yo? So I can't agree with these motherfuckers. They talking about, oh yeah, celebrate Independence Day. What Independence Day? All still to this day, nigga, we ain't even got no fucking independence. Yeah. Until we gain independence,
yeah,
we ain't got none. Look at the application. Look at the application and look at your birth certificate. Tell me what's the difference. Look at your driver's license or your ID and look at your birth certificate and tell me what's the difference. They fucking with you. They fucking with us all in total. Most people never pay attention to that shit. They play games, the word supplantic shit. You feel what I'm saying? So white people want to sit there and say, oh, you're not being patriotic. Are you not proud to be an American?
Huh.
I'm proud to be fucking black. What the fuck is you talking about? Hold up, don't get it twisted. I am American all day 24/7. Am I proud to be an American? As a black American? As the indigenous people in this land that founded the Amesh?
In that concept, yes.
Yes. Yes. My ancestors were with the Washington Moors and the Olmecs and the Yamasis and everything. Yeah. Where we founded, where we was all over. They was all over. We all family. So I am proud to be a part of the United States.
Right.
But not under your jurisdiction as a Caucasian. I'm not proud to be underneath that shit. Because still to this day, I have no fucking rights. When was the last time you walked into a daggone bank and got a fucking credit card or a daggone business loan on a business? How many people you know do that shit? And I guarantee you, if you do know somebody in the hood right now, it's only probably 1 or 2 people in the hood that get a business loan that's black.
Yeah.
Most of the people that are getting business loans, they from overseas in the whole damn nine. And they give them jurisdiction to come in and get that money and seize or ascertain certain particular financial documents and dividends,
yeah,
so they can be able to start set up shop.
Oh, no, any person, this is from what I've learned. Any person that is coming into the country, they are off top given a loan, and they're given 7 years, no taxes.
Yep.
At all.
Yep.
And then after that 7 years, then you'll be taxed. And if I'm not mistaken, that's when you have to start paying back on your loan after that 7 years of being here in the country. The only reason why I know this is because I knew someone who was from Pakistan, and this is the welcome package that the motherfucker was given. Coming in from Pakistan.
But how is it you got black people here in America that's living here, want to start businesses, want to become an entrepreneur, but still can't become an entrepreneur in the United States?
No, sir.
They're not granting us no leeway to become a millionaire. Ever since the Black Wall Street, J. Edgar Hoover, they don't never want a next black messiah or a whole group, a nationality like Drew said. Yeah. They don't want us to gain our nationality, our rights, our independence back. Notice that whenever you go to any daggone state, metropolitan state. You always see a little Mexico, a little Puerto Rico, a Jewish area, a Asian area, a little Chinatown, and the whole damn nine. But notice when you in all of their areas, you never see black people or other races selling in those areas. If you go to Asia, a little Chinatown, you see Asians selling over there. If you go to the Hispanic or the Latinos area, there's nothing but Latinos and Hispanics selling over there. Okay. Now, when you go to our area, you see everybody outside of us in our area selling in our area, marketing in our area. That goes to show you they don't want us to have shit.
It's not meant for it at all. Okay, so I found the video that I wanted to play, and it's an excerpt from Frederick Douglass's July 5th speech, and the title of the speech again is "The Meaning of July 4th for the Negro," and I'm going to play it. Hopefully, I can get. Come on, play for me now.
To the American slave, is your 4th of July? I answer, a day that reveals to him more than all other days of the year the gross injustice and cruelty to which he is a constant victim. To him, your celebration is a sham. Your boasted liberty, an unholy license. Your national greatness, swelling vanity. Your sounds of rejoicing are empty and heartless. Your denunciation of tyrants, brass-fronted impudence. Your shouts of liberty and equality, hollow mockery. Your prayers and hymns, your sermons and thanksgivings, with all your religious parade and solemnity, are to him mere bombast, fraud, deception, impiety, and hypocrisy, a thin veil to cover up crimes that would disgrace a nation of savages. There's not a nation of the earth guilty of practices more shocking and bloody than are the people of these United States at this very hour. At a time like this, scorching irony, not convincing argument, is needed. Oh, had I the ability and could reach the nation's ear, I would today pour forth a fiery stream of biting ridicule, blasting reproach, withering sarcasm, and stern rebuke. For it is not light that is needed, but fire. It is not the gentle shower, but thunder. We need the storm, the whirlwind, the earthquake. The feeling of the nation must be quickened. The conscience of the nation must be roused. The propriety of the nation must be startled. The hypocrisy of the nation must be exposed. The crimes against God and man must be proclaimed and denounced.
So that's some crazy stuff right there. Pause due to connection. That's some crazy stuff right there. It makes you wonder, like like the point of contention that they had with us and how they manipulate the black culture so easy. How they had us coming into their battles, fighting their battles for them because we wanted to feel equal or just as important to them. Continuously. Every other nation, like if you notice the Jews, the Jews turned around and the Jews fought. I mean, the Jews tried to rebel against the Nazis, the Zionist Nazis. And when they did that, you know, a lot of them got murdered within their rebellion, and the ones that did not get murdered, they were actually caught up in the camps, in the refugee camps. Okay?
Yeah.
But when we notice how these people left and They came to America. Some came to America. Some went other places. You never once seen a Jew that's in that area, a Jew in that area, actually sit there and actually let their kids or their husbands or their wives go into the Nazi army, the Nazi regime, and fight in the Nazi regime. See, that's the shit that's killing me.
Right.
Because we had the Revolutionary War. We had World War One, World War Two.
Yeah, but you had before World War One and World War Two, you had Civil War.
But yeah, okay, my bad. I'm sorry. The Civil War, then World War One, World War Two. You got the Vietnamese War out there, right?
Vietnam.
Vietnam. You get what I'm saying? You
said Vietnamese.
You know what I'm saying, though. Vietnam.
No, I'm just saying we don't put it out there. You know,
be right. Okay, Vietnam War. You feel what I'm saying, yo? The list just goes on, and how what about the Tuskegee?
Tuskegee instrument. Experiment.
Yes. See, we constantly going out trying to earn our path in America.
More or less earn keep.
Yeah.
I guess that I like that phrase, earn.
And we can't, and for some reason we can't earn our path
right
here in America, regardless of how much work our brothers, our sisters, our mothers, our fathers, grandfathers, grandmothers put in.
Yep.
We can never earn the fucking damn respect.
You want to know why the respect isn't going to be earned?
What's up?
The respect is not going to be earned because of this key thing here. For this to be a land that was originally occupied by black people, and to have a inferior being come into the lands, take over the lands, and then use you and abuse you and continuously use and abuse you and oppress you, there will be no such thing as respect given to us. Why? Because we continuously allow it. And then on top of that, we embrace their religion. We embrace their holidays. We embrace their form of living. We embrace their rules. We embrace their way of life. We embrace everything there is to be known as a European way of life. And because we are not a people that know how to put differences aside, put down a religious book, and come together and be one, there will be no such thing as respect for a black race. I'll say that's the best way. Black
So
people.
basically, all in a nutshell, what you're saying is, since we don't have an agenda and everybody else that came up and rised up, not wise up, but rised up against their oppressors, which was the Tom Who, the Caucasian, they had an agenda. We have not came together with an agenda. So that's another reason why he don't take us seriously.
Correct. Because like you said, and the topic today is the 4th of July. So we're just going to tap in on that.
And please, family, if y'all got something to say, please feel free. Talk. Yeah, hey, this is an open forum. Say what's on your mind. Whatever you can't say to nobody else, and they don't have an open mind to us. Say it here, man. Ain't nothing called stupid. Ain't no such thing as being stupid.
When it pertains to the topic here today, the war was only won because black people came into the war on the American side to help them win the war. Why? Because they were low on men, because the British were killing them. Which is why George Washington proclaimed that whether you were enslaved and or free, you could now enlist into the war. That is the only reason why the American side won the Revolutionary War. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Look the shit up if you want to. I don't give a fuck. It's there in history. Whether you're a white person and you don't believe it, or if you're a black coon and you don't fucking believe it. It is what it is. When it pertains to any type of war here in the Americas, who are the main people that they mostly use in their wars? Like my king said, black people. Why? Because black people are strong and motherfucking sturdy. Why? We are insightful. We are useful. When we have nothing, we use what is around us.
And
So-
we're disposable because they look at us like we populate like roaches, and they're going what roaches, ants.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Cats
So,
and dogs.
Cats and dogs. So it's like going into a bag of Jiffy popcorn and expecting not to find a kernel. It ain't gonna happen. So that's why that's why they use us to the fullest potential. Right. Whether you want to be black or Hispanic, because you notice what they do is they target the lower income communities, where it's actually black, Latino, Hispanic people, and those are the ones that are joining the army.
Yeah, that's the key phrase.
Yeah.
I mean, if they get a white person here and there, hey,
yeah,
good old boy, yeah, you better serve your country, right? However, what I have learned is that the most people that are on the front line, which is the infantry division, you're usually black and or Hispanic and or any other race. That is what is usually put out on the front line in the war. So, that in itself should tell you your value. I'm just going to put it out there. That is specifying your value to them. You are nothing. You are fickle. That is a great word to use. You are fickle. As a black race, we continuously, and I mean this word, we continuously allow white people to dictate to us what it is to be black, what it is to be American, what it is to be a father, a mother, sister, brother, whatever you have you. We continuously allow this I want to be as nice and politically correct as possible because I don't want nothing to be banned.
Hey, Blackavelli in the building.
Woo! Hey there. Okay.
We're talking about 4th of July, by the way, Black.
4th of July, Revolutionary War, Independence, and how it isn't for black people.
Yeah. So go ahead and chop yours up because you was killing it. Go ahead. I don't want you to lose your memento.
For us to continuously allow white people to dictate to us what it is to be us. It is it's the biggest form of coonery is what it is. To see a black person wearing a damn 4th of July outfit, walking around talking about some, woo, my country, woo, freedom for us. You look like a damn fool. Seeing as how your ancestors' blood was all over the fucking grounds, fighting in the goddamn war that they weren't even going to get fucking freedom from. But yet and still, here you are today. Woohoo! 4th of July! We gonna have some fun. We gonna pop some popcorn. We gonna pop some fireworks. We gonna have some ice cream, some watermelon, some fried chicken, some barbecue. You look like a fool. And I'm gonna put the disclaimer there. Unless your birthday, I'm gonna keep saying, unless your birthday is on the 4th of July.
He's stupid, Black stupid.
There should be no reason why you celebrating a European holiday, especially if you have knowledge of true history when it pertains to black people. Now, if you's a coon, and I'm gonna get coonish, if you's a coon, you gonna do coonish shit.
Hold up. See, this is what y'all should strive to be like. You see how this queen is? She's stepping on that damn flag with the RBG.
Exactly, Blackavilla. We were still slaves. Exactly.
You see that? The queen's stepping on that damn flag and got the RBG up.
Exactly.
Because she know what time of the day it is. You feel what I'm saying?
That's exactly how it's supposed to be.
See that, family? See that on YouTube land? See how the queen's standing up on that? That's how y'all need to be instead of being out there sitting there doing some bullshit. Where was y'all on Juneteenth at?
I didn't see
But you know when to bust some fireworks off on 4th of July, though, but most motherfuckers don't know about Juneteenth. And I ain't mad at you if you don't know about Juneteenth. But once you do know about Juneteenth, that's when, hey, if you don't celebrate Juneteenth, then there's something wrong.
Something is very wrong.
Hold up. I didn't hear a firework from the 15th to the 17th of June.
Not a one.
But they got fireworks busting all in the background right now.
It ain't even the 4th yet.
It ain't even the 4th yet.
It ain't even the 3rd yet.
God,
it's just
damn.
July 2nd.
Coon ass niggas. Boy, I tell you, the shit that they do.
Oh, this is a wonderful question. Whose independence are we celebrating? Well, I would love to answer that. Would you like to answer it?
Go ahead and dig in.
Okay. Okay. We're celebrating our white slave owners' independence from Britain. That's what we're doing.
The peons that left Britain because they wasn't shit and they came over here and it caught us up. Mm-hmm. Brought a few slaves from Central Africa and in Spain. Got us here in the bullshit.
Mm-hmm. That's what we doing.
That's what they doing.
Mm-hmm. Well,
that's what they doing. They doing. Yeah, they want to do that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the shit I'm talking about. Black folks so happy. Ooh, yassa, massa free. Ooh, wait, massa is we free? No. Massa free, but you's not free. You still gonna go outside in this hot ass sun and pick my fucking cotton. That's what the fuck you gonna do.
Damn right.
But yet and still, woo, thank you. Look, here we go. Thank you, Jesus, massa free. That is so cute on you. So cute. Black people should be a fucking ashamed of their damn self. And the fact that y'all don't even think to look at this shit is what's so fucking annoying to me.
But then you call people that's conscious like the spirit bashers. People that spoil your fun and the whole damn nine. Spoil your liberty and shit. But you want to celebrate. I mean, alright, cool. Be honest with you, fuck all that. Hands down.
Alright, here
Most of these goddamn holidays I don't fuck with. You leave it up to me.
For it.
Yo, my kids already know. My children already know I don't fuck with that shit. You feel what I'm saying? The only thing I celebrate is their fucking birthday.
Why? Because that's a joyous day that you came into this earth.
Damn right.
Hello.
That's the only thing I'm going to bust fucking fireworks over. Or bend over backwards for and celebrate and cry. I'm not crying over no goddamn Pledge of Allegiance. Hold up. If it's freedom and equality, the land of the free, home of the brave, why the fuck did Colin Kaepernick had to quit the fucking damn NFL?
Because there's no such thing as created equal.
And all he did was just take a knee.
He exercised his right of freedom of speech.
Ain't this about a bitch? King said something.
People know every pagan holiday, but not Malcolm X's birthday, Juneteenth, Martin Luther King Day. Oh, now they know Martin Luther King Day. Because that's the day they get off of work. They know that day.
Oh, yeah, because that's a holiday. That's actually,
that's a holiday.
James Brown worked real hard for that. Oh, you hit your elbow? James Brown worked real hard for that Martin Luther King Day.
Oh, goddamn.
But yeah, you right though, King. You right. They don't know no other day. They don't know because it don't matter to them. Oh, no. That's why Stacey Dash said what she said on the the BET Awards.
BET Awards.
And she said
it was the White People Awards.
What musical?
It was Chris Rock had hosted. It was the White People. I told you it was white people stuff.
Oh shit! I don't fucking speak Caucasian. But fuck. But anyways, the motherfucker said what she said was straight up on some real shit. She said maybe they need to take away Black History. Think about this. When Black History Month come up, that's what she meant to say. Black History Month. When Black History Month come up, how many black people do you see going out there actually celebrating Black History Month?
Not many. Oh, wait, no. Because we did a video on this. It only pertains to Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, then you see Muhammad Ali, and then you see Barack Obama. He was added to it. Barack Obama.
But how many people?
You see me think in my head. I'm saying these are the people that celebrate. This is it.
No. You're not getting my drift.
How many people actually do a celebration? Woohoo! Black History Month? None.
But notice
unless you're conscious.
Now, when you got a Caucasian holiday, pagan holiday,
they spend buku.
Yo, they spending the money. They spending the money. Then got the nerve to fuck you up and bust you in the fucking face and tell you, oh, it's Black Friday. After the holiday. No, after a holiday. How many Black Fridays are gonna be in what? In the winter season?
Thanksgiving,
Christmas,
and
New Year's.
3.
Yeah.
It'll be 3.
So that's when they was auctioning niggas off like a motherfucker, wasn't it? That was selling season. That was selling season, huh?
That was says the reason why we had 100 slaves that didn't attack one white dude with a gun is because the Jesus we are taught to worship is white. We believe God is white. We don't step to the white.
Thank you.
That is a great depiction and metaphor of what it is to be a coon in America today. I was passing by an older gentleman and a younger gentleman, and they were putting up flags. And I said, you do know that flag ain't meant for us, right? This is what I said to the older gentleman. And the younger man, that was one. You're not young, but he wasn't as old as the older man. And the older man said, are you not proud to be an American? Mind you, this man is black. Hey, miss. Mind you, he's black. Both of them are black. Okay?
We're talking about the 4th of July and how it's not for black people. Go ahead.
Okay, so I said, no, sir. It's not that I'm not proud to be an American. I just won't sit here and celebrate a flag that was never meant for black people, as well as a Pledge of Allegiance that's technically not meant for us as well. It's a spell. It's something to bind you. So why would I sit here and celebrate a flag and a pledge that's not meant for black people? He said, well, you can't tell me this ain't meant for us. We fought for this flag here. No. We didn't fight for the flag. Our ancestors fought for a sense of freedom from slavery. Our ancestors fought for a sense of equality, a sense of belonging. That's what our ancestors fought for, not for them to sit here and pledge their fucking lives to a goddamn flag that can technically be burnt up within a 2.5 seconds to a crisp. Okay? It wasn't meant for us. But yet and still, you sitting here, you want to chop my neck off, and he's a black man at that. You want to chop my neck off for saying that flag is not meant for black people. Well, this is what I have to say for anyone that really truly wants to step and say it is meant for us. Really?
Fuck you and fuck that goddamn flag. How about
Really?
that?
Really?
Fuck you and fuck
Because
that goddamn flag.
before there was ever a flag invented on these states here, okay? Let's just be real about that shit here, okay? Your ancestors, okay? Ancestors was still servants to the bitch that made the motherfucker, okay? They was cooking her goddamn food, tilling her fucking land and shit. Technically. Oh, and they had to assist her in sewing the motherfucker because she didn't know how to goddamn sew. So she had her mammy helping her sew the fucking flag. But in all actuality, mammy is the one that actually sewed the shit. But the white lady got the credit for it. And I dare somebody to discredit me on that shit. Because it is specified in history. Okay? It's specified in history that this is the case. But yet, the white woman is the one that got the credit for it. I still can't find African American on the map. There's no such thing as Africa America or African American. There's no such thing as it. And black people should stop classifying themselves as African American. You should specify yourself as, say, I am copper colored, I am black, I am brown skinned, or just say I'm American.
I would just go for the term indigenous. Fuck it.
I mean, you can say indigenous.
Because if I chose to go off the term indigenous, that means they know who the first and the original people are.
Mm-hmm.
We are of the African descent. So since we are of African descent and we and our ancestors have migrated all over these countries, they didn't bring us here through fucking slavery. They didn't bring us here through slavery. Most of us were already here migrating, building, setting up shop way before the Caucasian. Because the motherfucker thought the earth was flat, and if he went too far, he would fall off the motherfucker. So why must I classify myself with anything out of being indigenous and of an African descent? Because they already know.
Yeah.
The skin tone is going back to Africa, point blank, period.
Right, of course.
They know that that's the cradle of civilization.
Right.
What she said?
She said, "I'm American?" And then
Black brother said, "I ain't American."
Who was here before all of them? Whatever the name of this country was before them, that's what I am.
All right now.
And I completely understand that.
Thank you.
Completely understand that. And I'm saying, like, in this day and age, if we're going to go based on the name that the country is now, or the name that this piece of land is now, if you're going based off that land, I would not say classify yourself as an African American. You want to know why? Because they started to use that term as African American because they did not know where the black people came from.
And Jesse Jackson in 1998 when he made his speech trying to run for president.
And hit that nigga. Okay? Because he didn't want us to be classified as Negroes, colored, nigger,
Black.
I personally, like I've always said, I'm just going to classify myself as being black. And when I go to an application and I see something, I'm just going to put other. And then I'm going to do ... other. Okay? I'm not going to tell you specifically what I am. Why? Because you're not going to use that shit against me. And then 2, you're not going to classify me and have somebody searching for my ass on my goddamn doorstep. Not going to happen. So I just put other. I've learned my lesson. Granted, now when it pertains to my birth certificate, I had no choice what the hospital put on there. Why? Because I was an infant. And I was pushed out of a white woman with a black daddy. So they automatically put black on there. I can't change that. And because my birth certificate says black, guess what my ID says? My ID says black. I can't change that. However, wait, no, I can't. No, I don't want to change that. I just thought about that. I don't.
What?
Because the new classification of black people now, when it pertains to birth certificates and driver's license and applications, is African American, but I am specified as black. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had to recorrect myself. I'm already classified as to what I classify myself as, black.
What the queen said?
She said, "You're an African that's been in the Americas for generations." Yes, I understand.
Queen.
Yes,
yes, queen.
Yes, I'm not denying that at all. That's not. No, there is no such thing as me disassociating myself from my African ancestry at all. None. Period. The original people here are of that African descent. That is what that is. However, if I'm going to personally classify myself as something in this European rand economy and or government and or social epidemic, it's going to be black. I'm not going to classify myself as something that they put on us because they didn't know who we were. I don't feel comfortable doing that.
Well, what she's saying and all what the goddess is saying in a nutshell.
Yeah.
She's saying basically, regardless of the fact of even if the continent was named after Los Africanos or whatever the fuck the Caucasian dude name is, we are of African descent.
Yeah.
But that's why I said we are of African descent because he sees the skin color, recognizes the skin color, knows that he can tie us back to Africa because Africa is the only continent that produced people that did not have Neanderthal DNA.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying, yo? And we touch bases everywhere.
Right.
He knows he's a Johnny come lately. And we have always been everywhere. So it's deep down in the core of our bones. You can always tie it back to the motherland.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying, yo? No matter how many thousands of years our ancestors been here, we can always tie it back to Africa.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying, yo? But all in a nutshell, yes, we can always tie it back to Africa. But at the same time, too, I don't want to make it... We have to be careful on the words of what we choose. Because when we step into the white man game of word sublanics,
Right.
he played word sublanics. So you're saying that you're African, right? Or you're African descent, right? So that means you're only native to Africa. So he tries to cut us
Exactly.
out of everything,
Right.
all in a total.
Right.
So when we use the term, he knows that we the family's from Africa.
Right.
But if we use the term as indigenous to this planet, not just the continents, but indigenous to the planets, he can't knock us off our throne. That means we belong. We have jurisdiction in every fucking damn country, every continent. What the family saying on there? My bad.
Congolese was saying,
We have to come.
she says, I'm black too, but I don't identify myself as black. And I understand that
Appreciate that,
completely,
queen. Appreciate that, queen.
And she said, there's just
We have what?
there's just way too many labels.
Yep.
She says we have to come back under one nation.
Yep.
And I completely agree
And what the king said.
and understand that concept. He said, if we came from Africa as slaves, why can't we find one slave ship? We can find dinosaur bones from 1 million years ago, but no ship. We are the Native Americans.
I'm not arguing with you on that
I'm
one.
not, 'cause
Hey, I'm
that's
with you.
true.
Hey, indigenous.
That's true. And even when it pertains to dinosaur bones, there's
I can't
no
even
such
say-
thing as a full collection.
I wouldn't even call it. I wouldn't even say, because the Native Americans that they're talking about is the red man.
Well,
There
he
was
said
no-
Native
no.
Americans, not Indians.
No. I understand that. No, but Indians is indigenous. Indians mean, but okay, never mind.
No. Let's go there because when we're talking about what the Caucasian specifies.
I understand what he's talking about, but no, not King. I understand what the Caucasian, but even the Caucasian specifically said that a native is somebody that their parents are not from here, but if they're born here, then the child becomes native to the land. But if the person is indigenous, that means they've been here for thousands of years
Correct.
before the expedition
Correct.
of the European coming into the continent. You feel what I'm saying?
Correct.
Just like we have Africans in Africa right now, or our black family members in Africa right now that are indigenous to Africa that has never been enslaved, not one point in time, and they were not brought in from Europe, from Spain. They're indigenous to that continent.
Correct.
You feel what I'm saying? So that's what I was trying to like address to King, because if we're going to use a term and say that we always been here, we might as well use it. But I understand the sublanics too, because when you say the word Native American, not Native American, American Indian or Native Indian and shit like that, it kind of make you feel like it looks like
You talking about that?
you trying to shy away from your true identity.
Exactly.
You feel what I'm saying? Yo, it does so. That's why I said I'd rather use the indigenous word, the word indigenous versus Indian and all that shit.
Yeah.
Because I'm from the West Indies.
Mhm.
But I don't like using the word Indies or Indian. I'm West Indian. I'd rather you say, yo, I'm Jamaican.
Yeah.
Because that's such a general word.
Mhm.
You could be anywhere from the West Indies.
Yeah.
And nobody don't know where the fuck you from. Just so I'd rather
And
use
then
the
someone
term.
says West Indian, they're probably thinking of the
The-
westernized over.
No, we're the West Indies.
No.
They're thinking about the East Indies, Afghanistan,
That's what I'm
Baghdad.
saying.
Yeah, that's the East Indies. But what the family say?
She said, what is the language? She said, that doesn't make sense. She said, where is the language and culture, with all due respect? But when you explain it that one time, it still didn't make sense. Okay. When we're saying the original people here in these lands were black people and were native, meaning they were people that migrated here
From Africa.
And there are coastal maps and
Relics
that specify the seaports and seaways that were traveled
by Africans
by
to the
Africans
Americas.
to the Americas. As
The
well, go ahead.
The languages that they spoke was the languages of their tribes. You had Malis. You had people from the Malis. You had people from that were part of the Ashanti tribes, the Karamanti tribes. You also had Dogons, ancient Dogons, that were the fathers of the, of the nation, of certain particular nations. And Tutankhamun, Yucatans in Mexico.
Yeah, this on you.
They all had a specific dialect, like I was talking about the last time.
Yeah.
Even though I'm Jamaican and we're in Jamaica, we might not be in the same lands of Africa, but we still have pieces of Africa
Yeah.
in our dialect and how we talk as black people.
Yes, that's
Yes.
migrated to the Americas, so you're still African
Yes.
and just been there for that's what we're
Yes,
saying.
yes,
that's what we're
yes.
saying.
Yes.
Some of us are of native descent, some are African that traveled. My bloodline is the Jamaican that traveled, which is the same as African.
Yes, yes.
That's
So
that's
you
what
under
we're
so
saying.
you thank you for clearing that up.
Yeah.
Because that's what I was trying to say. Even though we all came from Africa, we just traveled.
Yeah.
We have pieces.
We're branches off.
Yeah, we have pieces of Africa in our culture still to this day.
Why are you claiming America so much? No one is. We're not.
No, we're not claiming America.
We're not claiming America.
I'm born here in America, so I'm an American citizen. If you're born here,
that's what I am.
That's what I am. I can't do nothing with that. I really don't give a fuck about America if you left it up to me. I don't know how you assimilated that or postulated.
That's just like you being born. You were born in Canada, so you would be classified as a Canadian.
Yeah, so
even though your nationality is Congolese,
yeah,
you would be considered a Canadian Congolese.
Yeah. So it's not. I'm not.
No.
At the end of the day, I'm just born here. That's all it is. I have no loyalties, none, no alliances with the United States. I'm not a part of their government institution, and I don't care to be a part of their government institution.
Yeah.
I'm only for black people. The only thing I guess that's what's been confusing you. What we're saying is, African people has been here. We're indigenous to this planet. Period. Not just America, not Europe, not just Africa. We're indigenous to all over on this planet. We were traveling everywhere from Africa, inhabiting, setting up shop, building cities way before the Caucasian even knew how to speak.
That's the same as what we are saying.
Yeah, we're saying the same thing, sweetie.
We're saying the same thing.
We're saying the same thing.
Correct. Yes.
You're saying the same thing. You're saying the same thing. Yes, I'm born in America, but I'm still Jamaican.
I was born in America, but my family ties, from what I've recently learned, are probably going to backdate to the native Creeks that were here in the Georgia area. So I would be considered a part of the Africans that came over here and were the natives to the land. Guyana, Nigeria, Senegal has memoirs
for the ones
that were here in the Americas.
Yeah. So that's all we were saying. So it's not clinging to America.
No.
If we were to cling to America, we're clinging to America saying, yeah, we're the first ones that inhabited this motherfucker.
That's what we say.
That's what we're saying. If we were supposed to cling to America, we would say that we were the first ones here before the white man even left Europe.
Right.
He still thought the earth was flat. If he went too far, he would fall off.
For the ones that was taken away.
Yeah.
But even in the history of that, what people fail to realize is that there were black people here in the Americas that were taken and sent over to Africa.
Spain first and then put into Africa.
Yeah, Spain and then taken into Africa and then were sold back. Well, technically, they weren't slaves until they were put into the slave trade and then brought back here to the Americas.
Yep, as slaves.
Yes, the slave trade did happen. However, there is no such thing as there were no blacks here in America and then they just brought everyone over on a ship. That is what we're saying. That concept of it was just white people here and then they brought black people over and then you have the slave trade. No. There were black people in these lands. White people came, saw the black people, said, hey, we can profit from this. Let's take some black people over to Spain, enter them into the slave trade in Africa, then bring them back and have them work in servitude. That is what happened.
Thank you, King.
What do you say? The white man just didn't rush into Africa and take us. He said the white man wants us to believe that they were strong enough to do so. They wasn't. He said they tell us we were sold and owned to own us. Okay.
Now, with that adding, can I add on? Can I interject?
Go ahead, please.
Now, with my interjection, is not to say that the slave trade didn't happen. Because if we all study world history, we all know that outside of the continent of Africa, the country Brazil has the largest African community than anywhere else in the world. That's something anybody can go Google and look that up. We don't even touch them in America.
Right.
The country Brazil by itself has more African descent, people of the African descent, than any other country. Black people, period. African Americans, period. Now, what we're trying to postulate on that particular area, in that diaspora, is to say that they try to make it look like it was a mass amount of people being shipped during the slave trade, and there wasn't a lot of people that they was trying to make it look like being shipped through the slave trade into the Americas. Because if you're talking about 12 to 14 million, that's probably what? That's one whole country you just wiped out.
Right. That's
one country. Because if they're being taken out of Central and West Africa, that's that whole region. That's 12 to 14 million.
That's all the people.
If they so-called purportedly said that we actually been enslaved for 300 years to 400 years, and within those 300 years that we were actually enslaved, and they could only account for 4 million black people that they let go after the emancipation. So what happened to think about that.
Yeah.
The numbers don't add up the way how they making it look. They're trying to say front and try to make it look like we were not here and there were not free black people in Canada, in America, in Europe.
Yeah.
They show pictures of free people, black people, even in the West Indies. So the white person, the Caucasian, likes to paint a picture like we was just in chains all over, and there was nobody walking around, or it was just like a handful of us sprinkled around that was free walking around, when they know goddamn well we was doing what we did. You feel what I'm saying? What the fam said.
Excuse me, sorry. Congolese said she thought we were ignoring the slave trade. Never that.
Oh no.
Never that. We were just classifying the true facts on the slave trade. That's all we were doing.
Because they try to make it look like we wasn't nowhere to be found. Like we was in the bushes,
right?
Picking juices and berries and digging out ticks out of our hair and swinging on vines and shit and eating bananas and shit, looking like chimps and shit. That's how they try to make our history look. Because if you ever notice this, whenever it's Black History Month, they never show anything that was going on before slavery. They don't show anything about Nubia, Naphtha Playa. They don't show nothing about the Nile Valley. They don't show nothing about ancient Kush. They don't show nothing about the Moors that went into Europe and conquered Europe and taught the Tamils, the Caucasians, how to read and write. They never show none of the positive stuff. They don't even show how we went into China and had our first black clans in China before Christopher Columbus set sail. The Shang Dynasty, the Ying Dynasty, the Qing Dynasty. That we were the ones that taught the Chinese how to write. We were the ones that gave them a metric system. If it wasn't for us, they wouldn't have a government or a politics because they built it off of Africans.
And martial arts, right?
They built martial arts off of African. In order for you to be a samurai or a ninja, you had to have one drop of a nigga blood in you. But they don't want to show us the true history of our ancestors and how we influenced the world because we were all over the world. These motherfuckers still didn't know how to talk. They was grunting. And even when they did learn how to talk, they had a high-pitched voice like this. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't know how to use their vocal cords yet. So why is it that they try to assimilate that we were just nothing but, we were vagabonds, we were savages. They never showed the shit that was happening prior, before slavery. They never talk about the 14 million African artifacts that was found. Out of the 14 million African artifacts that was found, 13 million was discovered here in America. And we're talking about shit from Norma all the way down past Imhotep, Akhenaten. The list, the names just keep going. They found it all up and down the Mississippi River. But why is it that they don't want to show that we was traveling? We developed the value of $1. They didn't know how to print money yet. We had our first coins. They didn't have nothing. They had no numerical system. They didn't have a change of commerce. Yeah. They didn't even know what commerce was.
Not at all.
When they seen Mansa Musa throwing out gold all over, they started getting money. Oh shit. Yo, I see a whole bunch of them with gold. Let's go in. Because gold ain't in Italy.
Yeah. That's how it happened.
They only got they got some watered down bullshit gold in Italy and Spain and shit. Plated gold type shit. Yeah. They don't got all the natural resources. So they, you know what I'm saying, yo. Yeah. So it's like, yo, when you look at that shit, it peeves me, because at the end of the day, I don't expect black people here in America, that has been colonialized due to the American jurisdiction, to want to celebrate no goddamn American fucking holiday. Fuck that man, fuck them, and fuck whoever else that feels some type of way about that shit. I'm not celebrating none of this shit. And when, like the king said, at the end of the motherfucking day, and I said this shit straight up, where the fuck was these people at on Juneteenth? Okay? Where the fuck are these people at during Black History Month? I should be seeing fireworks on Black History Month and on Juneteenth besides somebody's birthday. But why are you going to celebrate somebody else's Independence Day and your ancestors wasn't even free? If your ancestors was caught up during the slave trade, your ancestors was not free, you should not have been celebrating it, because anybody else, their ancestors was not that was not enslaved, and they were black, that was not enslaved, they not celebrating that shit. Frederick Douglass said it himself. He had to escape. Yeah. He had to escape the clutches and the boundaries
of an escaped slave.
An escaped slave, and he said, "For you, it's a time to rejoice, but for me, it's a time to mourn." Come on, man. Ain't no way in hell listen, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No,
I went
you're
on a rant. I ran on a rant. My bad.
You're perfectly fine, because for the first hour I was ranting, so you good.
So I don't see that shit. I don't see none of these motherfucking shit. I'm like Ray Charles to the shit. I don't see it. I'm not feeling it. I'm not seeing it. Where's their speech coming up talking about the black people that passed away during the Revolutionary War?
They're not gonna get it because they weren't recognized. They were only put into the Book of Negroes.
Hold up, but what happened to those people that died? Where did they bury them? The ones that fought in the war, where did they bury them?
They didn't bury them. Only the ones that were put into the main, which is like about, I think, 5 people. They have a gravestone plate. However, anyone else that fought and they were black, they were put into the Book of Negroes.
Ain't that about a bitch? Ain't that about a bitch? But we sitting out here celebrating some fucking Caucasoid shit. That say a lot of shit, man. I'm sorry. Ain't no way in hell. We need to come together and figure out our own Independence Day. Besides Juneteenth, everybody we need to draw a ballot and have a whole bunch and make a petition and have some signatures that black people have. Hey, the Muslims have their own New Year's. The Jews have their own holidays.
The Chinese got their own New Year.
The Chinese got their own shit. Why we gotta share a holiday with another motherfucker?
Because we coons. No. Because black people are still cooning for acceptance and equality.
Hey, fams, if the Asian got their own holiday, the Latinos, the Muslims, the Jews got their own holidays. Why is it we don't got our own holiday and we celebrate our holidays?
We don't, like you said, we don't even party for Black
History Month.
But yeah, the Puerto Ricans, they got a Puerto Rican Day Parade.
Black people all up in this shit.
All of that. But we don't have Cinco de Mayo,
Black people all up in that shit.
St. Patrick's Day,
Black people all up in that shit.
Memorial Day.
Well, that's our day.
Is Memorial Day our day?
Is it yes, Memorial Day.
Memorial Day is our day?
Is it yes, the one that yeah.
Memorial Day?
Yeah.
The 31st? Memorial Day is our holiday?
Memorial. It was the black people that our ancestors was the one that did that shit. They didn't have that shit first.
I understand that.
Okay,
However, I'm saying when it pertains to this country.
Okay, I understand.
Memorial Day our day?
No. I understand where you're going with it now. My bad. I'm sorry. Go on.
Is Labor Day our day?
First of all, black people don't even want. You know how much labor for 300 to 400 goddamn years?
But niggas out there celebrating Labor Day weekend. Woohoo! You gonna come over and cook out.
Most of these motherfuckers don't even work. They don't even have a fucking job, but you want to celebrate Labor goddamn Day. I mean, shit, no, man. I'm sorry. I bite the bullet on a motherfucker that's unconscious. That works every fucking day. You feel what I'm saying, yo? That works every fucking day that want to celebrate Labor Day. You want to know why? Because you got to bust your ass and go out there and work for them goddamn dollars. So I really don't. If you unconscious and you do decide to do that shit and you work, fuck it.
She said yesterday was Canada Day. Okay.
Did
you celebrate?
Did you celebrate Congolese?
She said a lot of black people were celebrating. Black Canadians were celebrating.
Okay, y'all in the building.
Okay.
Y'all in the building. What's good?
And my son was born on Cinco de Mayo, so that's what. Exactly. That's what I said. Unless that holiday is your birthday, you should not be celebrating. Just like I have a aunt, and her birthday is literally on July 4th. So guess what? I will be celebrating the birth of her. Why? Because I loved it, her, and she is like a jewel to my heart. That's what she is to me. So I will celebrate her life on that day. But the concept of 4th of July, no sirree, Bob. Ain't no such thing as me being dressed up in red, white, and blue, or my children being dressed up in red, white, and blue. You can probably do it. They probably gonna do it because they're not on the conscious tip like me. However,
hold on, but what did I say? If I see what happened, I'm leaving.
Fireworks.
If I see any fireworks busting and I'm there, I'm leaving. Deuces. Love y'all, everybody. Peace, love, chicken grease.
Okay, my bad. Okay, Blackavelli said they told us that we could live like kings and queens if we traveled over to this new land. That is correct. The strong left, once they did this a couple of times, they could pick us off like it ain't nothing. You're right. It says the natives of America was given blankets with diseases on it as a peace offering to weaken us. That's how they took this land over. That is correct. That is correct. That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Correcto. But Congolese and Blackavelli and Yon, this video will be up on YouTube, which will pertain the main reason why this video was done today.
What's up, Yon?
Is should black people celebrate the 4th of July in the context of the Revolutionary War and the Declaration of Independence? So the parts that you missed out on, please, it will be going up on YouTube tonight. So please go look at it. Please.
To all the family out there, we love and respect you guys. We're thankful that you guys came in.
What you say? Nope. What you mean, nope? She said they shouldn't celebrate that or Canada Day. You right. Oh, no, 4th. Okay.
I don't think they want us to leave.
I was making sure you told some. I want to make sure you want to tell me some nope to watching my video. That's all.
Yeah.
But yes, no, black people should not celebrate the 4th of July.
At all.
At all, period. But
we're about to break out.
We digress. Much love. Respect.
We love you guys, man. Stay up. Stay positive. We'll come through and check y'all out tomorrow, all right?
Yes.
We got some stuff, some other stuff, some scientific shit that's dealing with like artificial inseminations and all type of science shit. But y'all gonna love it though, anyways. But peace, love, Black Power, hold it down. All right.